Hello everyone, this is KenBroTech from KenBroTech. In today's tutorial, we are going to design this interface using Bootstrap. So this is an interface I designed for a Django project. And today we are only going to look at building the interface so that in future when I release the Django project, you are definitely going to have a feel of how the interface comes about. So what we have over here is we have our dashboard, and we can have we have these cards over here. Now when I click on this, it sends us to the staff page. Then we also have some products over here, and we have orders that have been made by some of the staff. So this is some sort of a data management system or an inventory management system for a company. And when we come to the dashboard, we are definitely going to see some statistics over here. And with this part of the website, we are going to use Chat.js. So primarily, we are going to combine two technologies. We are going to use Bootstrap and Chat.js to get this interface. Source code for this interface will be left in the description below. So right over here, I have VS Code opened, and I have some images I'm going to work with. So I have one over here for profile image, and this is another for another profile image. So that's going to be in the media folder within the dashboard main folder. So first of all, I'm going to click on this and build our index.html page. So this is going to be our index page, and since you are using Bootstrap, I would want to go to the Bootstrap website. I'll leave the link in the description below, and that's what we have over here. We have getbootstrap.com. I'll click on all releases, and I'll go to version 4.6. Now the most recent version is 5.0, which is at a beta stage, so it is not too stable for us to use. So we will downgrade a little, and we just grab the starter template over here. So we are grabbing the CDN so that I can work with it. So I'll come here and paste it over here. So we have our index page right over here. Then I'm just going to change the title to, I'm going to say home page. Then I'll clear this. So we have our Bootstrap CDN right over here. So this is a CSS, and here we have the JavaScript. So everything is going to go in here. So the first thing we are going to look at is how we get, let me put this up over here. We get our navigation bar. So in order to get that, I think since we are still on this page, we can go to components, and we can quickly scroll down to nav bar and just grab the template we have over here. So I'll copy this once again. I'll come back here, and I'm going to put out comments over here so that we know exactly where we are with our setup. So we have nav bar over here. All right, so I'll paste it here, and I'll apply some few changes over here. But before then, let me open this up in Live Server. So I already have Live Server installed, and I run this. This is what I have. Now I'll come back here and change the light color to info, and that's exactly what I used. So I have info over here. Then I'll put this in a container class so that I'll have it some margins around it. So I'll put out the Bootstrap container class over here, and I'll end it here. All right, so let's just have a look at what we are going to get. So this is what we have, and since we have it open in Live Server, any change we do will automatically have the effects after saving. So I'll come back here, and inside this nav bar, we are going to put out some Bootstrap class over here. So we are going to do txt white so that you have the white color over here. Then we're also going to do same for the link we have over here. So I'll do txt white. Then I think that may be it for now. So we can clear this off because we don't have the form in our final design. And I also clear these ones off. Okay, so when I save this and come back, we have this over here. Now we have this link, and we are going to put out some few things over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. So I'll do a Control-C and I'll put it down here. And I'm going to change this to margin left auto so that it floats what we have over here, which we are going to say admin profile. Then we have log out over here. I'm also going to put out the txt white bootstrap class over here. So if we come back, this is what we have. But then clearly we need to get rid of this. So I'm going to come back here and take away what we have over here. Now when I save, I think we have our navigation area. So we had Ken inventory and dashboard over here. So I'm also going to change this to Ken inventory and dashboard. So I'll come back here and I'll do Ken inventory for the home. No, I think no, that's going to be the nav bar. So I have Ken inventory. Then I think this will be dashboard. All right, so I'll save this and I think we are good. So the next thing we are going to look at is this information section we have over here and what we are also seeing over here. And that's very simple. So I'll also give out a comment over here. So since we are done with this, let me just collapse this. And I'm also going to give out a comment. And I'll say top side. So this is going to be the top side. And let me put out this over here to end top side. So inside our top side, we are going to put everything in a container class. So we have the container class over here. Then inside this, we are going to have some rows in here. And what I would want to do is I would want to right away give it a margin of top 5. So let me do 4, a margin of top 4. Okay, so inside this row, we are going to have 2 columns. Okay, so we are going to have I'm going to say call MD4, and inside call MD4 we are going to have a card, and I'm going to put out the card header, and inside the card header I'm going to type in information, and I think the card header had a bootstrap class of bg info. We have bg info over here. Then I'll come outside this card header div and come and do a card body over here. So let me save this and show you what we have so far. So this is what we have so far. As you can see, the text is dark. We want it white. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put out the txt white over here. When I save it and come back, now we have it white. Okay, so inside this is the HTML tag marquee. So with marquee is actually going to do the magic you saw over there. So I can put this in an h3 tag, the information. I'll say this is the information. So when I save this, now we have this is the information scrolling over here. We didn't have to do anything too special, and that's what we have over here. But as you can see, there's some kind of margin, or let's say padding to the top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and inside my h3 I'm going to add the bootstrap class of, let's say, margin y. So margin y is going to give me a margin of top and bottom, and let's say top and bottom 3. So when I save this and come back here, I think this is just about what we have over here. Oh yeah, almost. I think this should be 4. I think 4. All right. Okay. So this is good. So now let's move on to the other side. And the other side is where we have the cards and things of that sort. So remember, we have this row, and this row is going to be like the entire row. And inside this, we divided it into, we have 4 MD4 over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to copy this. Okay, so I'll do a Control-C. Remember, there's a core MD4. And if you are new to Bootstrap, I have some Bootstrap series where I talk about some of these things. That's why I'm moving very fast over here. But then what we have over here, we can put out the rest of the demarcation, which is going to be 8. And what we can say is we can say statistics. So statistics, okay. Then inside the body, we are going to put out a row inside the body. So inside this row, we are going to do a core MD4. And inside this core MD4, we are going to have a link tag over here, or the anchor tag. And these are going to lead somewhere, but then for now, let's do this. Inside the anchor tag is what we have as our card. Then we have our card header. No, I don't think we use the card header over here. Let me see. So yeah, we just had a card and we just put things over there. So if I am to save this, in order for us to visualize things very well, and if I'm to refresh, yeah, that's what we have. We don't have any data in there. So we are going to say, I'm going to put up an H4 tag. And inside the H4 tag, I'm going to say staff. So you have staff over here. And we are going to add some fonts or some icons around it. But as you can see, this looks a little bit creepy. The reason why I'm taking time to do this is once we have this right, you can just duplicate and get the others, okay? So what we have over here, we need to center it from our design. So I'll just come in here and do a txt center. Then I'd also want to take away the text decoration on the link. So I can come into the link tag over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some Bootstrap classes over here. So I'll do class and I'll do txt decoration. That's text decoration and property. And I'm also going to do, so first of all, when I save this and come back, the text decoration is going to stay off. But then this is color blue and that's not what we want. So I'm going to do a txt and I'll do dark so that it becomes black. Okay, so this is what you want. But then as you can see, we need to give it some kind of margin and padding around it. So what I can do here is I'm going to specify a padding on the core, okay? So I'm going to do a padding of 3. Now when I do a padding of 3, the padding is going to be the internal distance. Okay, so this is happening over here. I want it internally, so I can come in here and come and do padding of 3. So let me do P3 over here, P-3. And when I save and come back, okay, this is just about how we want things to look like. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the font awesome icon over there. But before I do, let me just put out an H3 tag and the number we have, let's say the number of staff we have is 4. So this is what we have. Now I need to add the font awesome icon. So I'm going to go to fontawesome.com. Once again, I'll leave the link in the description below. So basically with Fonts Awesome, we are going to get some of the fonts we use over here for free. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I already have an account, so I'll click on this and I want to grab the Fonts Awesome CDN. So I'll click on this button or this link and here we have it. So I'm going to copy the CDN, so I'll click on this and I'll just come and put it in the head. Okay, so I'll have some comments over here, and I'll say font awesome CDN, and I'll paste the link over here. All right, so now we can have access to the font awesome icons and use them. So I'll put the icon right over here. The first one I'm going to search for is I think users. All right, and this is what I need. So I'll click on this particular one. Then what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to click on this link to copy the font awesome icon. Then I'm going to paste it over here. So once I save this and come back to my page, you can see that I have this over here. Now it looks, I mean, kind of the same. All right, so this is almost cool. But then as you can see, there's some hovering effects on the card over here, and I don't have it, so I need to work on that. So, and that's going to be, I mean, plain CSS. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to type in style. I'm creating a CSS file, so I'll do style.css, and this is going to be my styling. So I'll need to first of all link it up over here. So I'll come down here and I'll do I'll say custom CSS. Then I'll put up the link tag over here. Then I need to go into style.css. Okay, so this is what I have over here. Since I'm in the same directory, I just have to do a ./ and the name of the CSS file. So just to test things up over here, let me save this. We can simply do, let's say we can grab the entire body and let's say give it a background, and let's say when I choose red, okay, for the color, when we come back we can see that everything is red over here. Okay, and that looks kind of creepy, but then the color that we want is we want to have, so with the color I'm just going to say RGB, then I'm going to say 230, I'll do 227, and here will be 227 as well. So when I save this and come back, we have this, and I think that's exactly what I used in the final design over here. Now I want to get hold of this and put that hovering effect around it. But in order to do that, let's do it the simple way. Let's try and work around it using the simple way. So I'll come back to index.html, and I'm going to put up my own class on the card over here. So over here, I'm going to say my card. Now this my card is not a CSS class, okay, so it's not going to have any effect. I'm going to style it myself over here, and since it is a class, I can do dot my card to grab it, and the first thing I'll do is I'll do transform, and for the transform I need a scale of 1.1. so when I do this and save this and let me refresh and come back here, when I hover around it, okay, it's not going to work. The first thing I need to do is I need to apply the hover class on it. I mean the hover pseudo class. So I'll do dot hover. So when I save this and come back, and when I hover around it, that's exactly what we see over here. But then it is too sharp, so I need to pass in a transition. So with the transition, I'm going to say transition, I'm going to do 0.2 seconds, and I'm going to say ease in and out. And this is basically the entire CSS that we used over here. So when I refresh, okay, this is as good as what we have over here. Okay, then the last thing is we have some shadow around it, okay, and we don't see that over here. So that's actually a CSS, sorry, a Bootstrap class, and we can just apply shadow over here. So when we do shadow like this, now you can see that we have the shadow effects around here. So the next thing we are going to do is we are just going to duplicate this 2 times over here. So that's going to be this particular core MD4. I'll grab this Control C, and I'll do a Control V and another Control V, and I'll save this. And as you can see, that's what we have over here. And these are all links. Okay, so when we click on this, it's going to lead us somewhere. But what we saw over here is we have products over here and we have orders. So I'm just going to change the text to, we have products over here, and we had order or orders over here. Then we are also going to change the font or some icons we are using over there. So for the orders, I think I used something like, I'll search for shipping. Okay, so for shipping, I think this is what I use. So I'll click on this. So I'll grab this, and this is going to go to orders. So I'm going to clear this and I'll paste this over here. I'll save this. And for the product, I think I used something like a box. So I'll search for box over here. Then this is the one I use. So I'll click on this and I'll copy the link over here. So I'll come back here, and this is for product. So I'll clear this and paste what I just copied over here. So when I save and finally come back to our dashboard, this is what we have. Okay, so this looks I think almost the same as what we have over here. Now the next thing is to get these graphs over here. So now we are done with the top side. So I'll collapse this once again, and I'm going to put out this, and I'm going to say graphs. So for graphs, and I'll do end graph over here. So once again, the graphs, we are going to use chat.js. We are going to have this in a container. So I'm going to say container, and we are going to have a role over here. So as far, and finally, we are going to have a Bootstrap class of core MD6. So the core MD6 is going to house these graphs we are going to look at. So before we continue, I'll just save this and we'll deal with the graphs later. So now let's go to, I think, our last website, which is going to be our chatjs.org. So I'll leave the link in the description below. So this is what we have with chat.js. It's a JavaScript library we can use to display chats, and it's free on open source, so it's good for us. So once again, I also need the CDN over here. So I'll click on this link to get the chat.js CDN. And here we are. So we are going to grab the chat.main.js. This is a minified version. So I'm going to click on this, and I want to grab or copy the HTML. So when I copy this and come back over here, I need to go and paste it in my head. So once again, I'll just come above my custom CSS, and I'm going to put out a comment over here, and I'll say chat.js CDN. So for chat.js CDN, I'm going to paste this over here. All right, so after pasting this, what we need to do is we need to go back and just grab something we'll be working with. So this is some kind of a starter template. So I'm just going to copy this, and I mean the whole of this, the script. So I'll copy this, Control C. I'll come back over here and come and paste it right over here. So I'll do a Control V. Now when I save and come back into my browser, this is what we have for my chats, and it doesn't look too good for my liking, so I'm going to change some few things over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change our as far as the div class is concerned, I'll give it a background. So I'll do bg white so that I'll have a white background. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so this is how we want it, and you can see that it's so stacked to the top over here. So what we can do is, inside this row, I'm going to say a margin y. So margin y is going to be top and bottom, so my and my4. So once we have my to be 4, okay, this looks kind of okay. Then what I would want to do next, let's do my5. What I would want to do next is to actually squeeze things up over here. So it looks too long for me as far as the chart is concerned. So I can change the height over here, the height property over here. Let's do 300. So if I change it to 300, okay, this kind of looks cool for me. Then I would also want to change the color background. We can see this is going to be like the alpha or the opacity side of things. So I'm changing this to 1 so that we have the full color over there. So we have 1 here. Now when I save this and come back, you can see that we have our charts displaying properly over here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the label over here, and I'm going to say products. So I'll save this, and I'm going to collapse this because I'm going to copy everything over here. Then I'll copy this, Control C, and do a Control V over here. So I just want the charts to be 2, but as you can see, we are not seeing anything over here, and that's because of the fact that they are all using the same ID, and this is what I'm talking about. Now when I open things up over here, you can see that we have within the canvas HTML tag, we have the ID of the chart. So this is pointing to a particular chart. So what I can do over here is I can change the ID to my charts 1, and inside the script over here, I need to also change it over here. Then I also have to change it over here. And I think that's just about it as far as my charts is concerned. Okay, so I've done my chart 1 over here. So clearly there's going to be some distinction, and that's what we see over here. I think so. What we have here is we have these joined together, but then there should be some kind of separation. And I think I missed out on a div class. So just right beneath the core MD6 and a background of white, I think we need to take this background of white over here and rather have another class, I mean another div. Okay, so I'll copy this and I'll put this right over here. So I have this over here, and I think, yeah, that's just about it. So I repeat same for what we have over here. So I'll do a BG white for the Bootstrap container. Then I'll come down here and come and close it. So I'll save this, and when I come back, you can see that we have this separated over here. But we had this to be a pie chart, and let me check. Okay, so we had a pie chart over here and a bar graph over here. So that's very simple to implement, and the documentation will be in the Chart.js website. Okay, so they have a lot of graphs you can play around and work with, and these are the types. So you have a line graph, bar graph, and things of that sort. I'm not going to go too much into this because I have another video I'll link up in the description below on how to work with these graphs. But clearly what we have over here, we want to make the first one a pie chart. So right over here, I can change this to pie. I mean the type. Okay, initially it was bar. Now after changing this to pie, when I save and come back here, now you have this as a pie chart. All right, so we are done with the dashboard interface. Now let's go to what we see when we click the staff. And over here, when we click on the staff button, we have this table displayed over here. So we are going to have our table right over here. And this is very simple to implement. And we are going to grab a starter template. So what we have over here, okay, I think we can work with this. So I'm going to copy this and we'll just come here. So once again, let me collapse this because we are done with this. And I think before we even collapse it, this is actually a new route. Okay, so this is going to be the the customer or the staff. Okay, so this is going to be like a new HTML file. So what I'll do is I'll come here and actually duplicate this and change this to I'll rename this to stuff.html. okay, so this is stuff.html, and you are kind of going to have all these over there. Okay, when you go into the Django application, we are going to see how we can make use of template inheritance and things of that sort. But basically we are going to have all these over here, and the most changing thing will actually be on the graph. Okay, so I'm going to delete the graph over here, and what we have here is going to be the table. So I'm going to change this to the table, and we are going to end table over here. Okay, so we are going to put the table over here. So in order to do that, once again, let's go and grab this. So after grabbing this, we can come back here and come and paste it over here. And I think what I did was I had a BG info over here, and yeah, I think that's just about it as far as the tables are concerned. So let me just, I don't need all these data over here. Yeah, let me just put it here. So we have a table over here, but then we need to link things up over here. So once I come here, when I come to the top side, it is this staff. Okay, this staff link that should link me to the table. So I can come in here. Okay, there's a staff link. Okay, the link over here. So I can do a staff.html over here. So when I do staff.html and come back here to come and refresh, when I click on this, okay, as you can see, we are getting some problems over here. And this was quite expected because we have a container in here and we have to work our way around it. So I'll come to staff.html. Then what I needed to do was to put this in a container. Okay, so I'm going to put the container class over here. I should have put everything in a big container class, but then it's because of how this table is set up. That's why we are putting this in separate containers. So I'll save this, and I think I need to get rid of this table because the tables are two. Okay, so now I'm not quite done yet. Putting this in a container will just make it small. Okay, all right, so I need to put up some gap over here, and that's actually going to be on a div. But before I do so, let me just grab this, and I'm going to put up a row class. Then inside the row, I'll have my margin y, and margin y is going to be 4, and I'm going to have for MD4. This is going to be blank. I'm going to show you why. And I'm also going to have for MD8 in order to make it 12. So what I'll do is I'll just grab this Control X and I'll put it right here. And the last thing I'd want to do is to change what we have over here. So I'm going to do bg info. So when I save this and come back, we're going to see this over here. But as you can see, we are not getting what we desire as far as the background is concerned. So in order to fix that, I'm going to put a bg white on the table. So that's going to be a background of white. So when I save this and come back, now you can see that this is exactly what we want. So this is going to be our staff page. Now it is when I click here that we go to the dashboard. So let's go to our nav area and change this into our index.html. So I think I'll need to also effect those changes over here. And first of all, let me just come here and do an index.html over here, and also an index.html over here. This is for the staff, and for the index page too, let me just come here and repeat what I just did. So I have index.html, and I'm going to say index.html over here too. Okay, so once I have this save, and when I refresh, this is going to lead me here. I mean, I'm already there, and this is going to bring me here. So I think it kind of looks cool as far as our interface is concerned. All right, so the next thing we are going to look at is the product page. Okay, so far we haven't done anything here. And if I'm to go to the original website and go to the product page, this is what we have. So we have another table over here. So it's more or less going to be like a duplicate of what we just did for the staff. We are going to have a table over here, but then we are going to see some changes here and there. So as far as this table is concerned, we can simply, and I think that will be very prudent, you can just copy and paste. So I'll do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and I'll change this to products. So I have products.html, and I'll just change the link over here to products. So what I have over here is, okay, so this stuff, and I just have to make this stuff.html, and this product. So I'll do products.html over here, and I'll come here to also change this to products.html. So this is going to be the top side. Okay, so I have stuff.html, and I'm going to do products.html over here. So when I save this and come back, this is the project I'm working on. So when I refresh, I have this. When I click on this, we are still where we are. We have our homepage or our dashboard. We have this over here. And when you click on products, we also have this route working over here. Let me see. Okay, so between this and this, they are not talking to each other. Okay, so I haven't saved this, so let me save this. All right, when I refresh, I'm looking at the URL over here. Okay, so I'm at staff is not linking up with products. Okay, I'll fix things up. So index is linking up with staff, index is linking up with products, but then the problem is within staff and products. Okay, so it's just some few things that I'm missing out over here. So I'll come here and think the problem has to do with, okay, so I'll just have to type in stuff.html. all right, so and also over here I need to do products.html. all right, so I think we are good to go. But then as you can see with the main projects, we have some kind of form over here. We can add data, and that's exactly what we are going to do. So inside products, remember we have this unused column over here, and yeah, so this is where, or this is what I was talking about. Okay, so we have this, so I can say add data here, and I'm just going to show you over here. So add data here, and that's basically what I'm referring to. So this side is where we are going to put the form. So in order to get our way around this, let's do some Bootstrap classes over here. So over here, I use the border class, and I'm going to do a padding of 3 around it. Then I'm going to put this in an h4 tag, and I'll say add products. So for add products, I'm going to put out a horizontal rule over here. And before I put out the form, so let me put out the form tag over here. And finally, let me just add the input of type submit. Okay, so the value is going to be add products. And let's apply some Bootstrap classes over here. So I'll do class btn dash success, and I'll do btn block. So when I save this and come back here, we are not quite done. As you can see, we are getting there. And what I need to do is to also have a background of white over here. So on this border class, once again, I'm going to do a bg of white, so a background of white, and that's essentially what we have over here. So we have these forms over here. Now, in order to get things done very quickly, let's just go to Bootstrap and look for forms. At the end of the day, when we work with Django, we are not going to type in these forms over here. Okay, it's going to be very simple for us. So we have this. Let's just copy this for a start, and let's just put them over here. So we have okay, I'm going to do some cleaning up. I'm just going to get rid of this form because we already have the form tag over here, and I'll save this. And if we should come back here, we have this form tag over here. So let's clear this as we see it over there. So we clear this checkbox and things of that sort. So yeah, so this kind of okay. Now let's take away this muted description over there. So I'll take the small tag off, and I think we are good to go as far as the form is concerned. Okay, so what we have over here is the name, quantity, category. So I'm going to change this to name. When we're actually working with the Django project, we wouldn't have to worry about all these styling, especially with the forms, because we are going to use the Django Crispy forms to style our forms for us. So we are not going to worry so much over there. Okay, so I think quantity, and I have category over here, but then category is not just one of the things we have over there. It is actually something we are going to select. So I'll come in here, and I think I had an example over here. So I'll go and look for states. All right, so I'll just select this one, the div tag over here. I'll just copy this, Control C, and just come and put it over here. So just before the close of the form tag, before the input comes in here, I'll just paste this over here. I'll save this, and I think we can see what we get. Okay, so this is going to be states. Okay, it's looking funny over here, but then let's see. I think I need to take care of this, so I'll get rid of this Bootstrap class. And all right, so this looks kind of cool, and this is just for design purposes. Okay, so we have category over there as a label. So let's put category over here. So you have category. So when I save this, we have it's looking like the original. Okay, now what we have over here, we have name, category, quantity, and activity for the table headers. So we come into the table headers and we apply those changes accordingly. So where's my table? Okay, so let me check them once again. So I have name, category, quantity, and activity. So I have name and I have category, and I think I have quantity, and I'll duplicate this. So Control C, Control V, and I'll have activity over here. And all that I need to do is actually to put up more of the table data over here so that it balances things up over here. But then what I'm going to do, so there's some kind of what we have, okay, and we just have to also change the text over here. So once again, let me just put it right over here. So I can do a class of txt white. I just want it to look exactly, or almost close to what we have. All right, so this is what we have. Then for the activity, I have two buttons over there. I have an edit and a delete button. So that's going to come in here, and I'm actually going to design one and duplicate the other. So I'm going to do a link, and I'm going to say edit for the text. Then for the Bootstrap class, I'm going to say btn dash info. I'm going to say btn sm so that I have the small button over there. Then I'm going to do a Control C, Control V, and this is going to be a delete button, and I'm going to change the info over here to danger so that I have the red color. And I think that's just about it as far as my buttons are concerned. So this is what I have. I think, yeah, it's almost the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, Control C, and replace the last things I have over here with this so that kind of look like the original. So this is what we have with our products, and when it comes to stuff, we are cool. Okay, once again for stuff too, let me change the color over there to stuff.html, and as you saw me do, it's on the table. So the table head, I can do class. I'll do a txt of white. So when I save this, we can see that now we have this. Now as far as this, when you go to start, we have some buttons over here, so I think I also need to work on that. And that's just the numbers we have over here. So I'll do a link tag over here, and for now it's not going to link me anywhere, but then I can apply the Bootstrap class of btn, and I'll do info, and I think I also use a btn small over there. So over here I'm going to say view. So when I save this, I think yeah, I didn't bring my W. Okay, so I'll copy this. So I'll do a Control C, and I'll paste it over here, Control V. I'll do a Control V over here. Okay, so I think I need to clear this. All right, so here we go. Then finally, I need to paste it here again. So this is what we have. All right, so this is going to be the stuff where we can click and see the detail view. Then we also have the products we can delete and edit over here. Then finally we go to the products or the order table. So the order is I think, yeah, I mean, there's a very simple table we are going to have over here. So for the order, we have products, category, quantity, and order by. So I'm just going to duplicate this and change some few things over here. So that's also going to be a duplicate of I think stuff. No, I think products. So I'm going to say Control C, Control V, and I'm going to change the name to order.html. So with order.html, I'll come down here and first of all, I'll get rid of this form over here because I don't need this over there. And yeah, probably get rid of this as well. Okay. Then first of all, let me fix the links over there because so this is going to be order. So order.html, I'll save this. I'll come back here and I'll put out order.html. I'll save this, come to index, and I think the final link is over here, order.html. All right, so I think the link should be working now. So when I click on this, it sends me here, and yeah, so this order is working now. I need to get rid of this because I just have order by. So I think I'm gonna have product, category, quantity, order by. So I'm gonna have products, category, quantity, order by. So I'm gonna come back here and I'm just gonna have products and I'm gonna change this to order by. All right, then I think these are going to be names over here. So let's say I can have my name Brony over here. I also have Kenneth over here. Then finally, I'm gonna have Cecilia over here, who happens to be my mom. So once I have this, okay, so this looks kind of cool. So this is going to be our stuff .html. These are products.html, and these are order.html. All right, I think I need to change the title because it is a little misleading. I think because I copied and pasted, I didn't change all of them. So what I can do is I just come in here. There's the order page, so I'll just do order page. Then I'll come in here and also change this to products page. I'll change this to staff page for the title. All right, so that's almost about it. So we have this, we can go to this page, then finally we have this profile page. Okay, so this profile page, and the profile page is going to be an interesting one. So once again, I'm going to copy this. Let me see, the profile page looks like something with, okay, so I'm going to copy any of these pages over here and edit some few things, as you can see. So let's say we have the order page, and let me change this name to, so after copying and pasting, let me change this name to profile. So we have profile.html, and as you can see, we don't have the top side, so I'm going to get rid of the top side, and once again I'll collapse this. So for the profile page, we don't have the top side, so I'll get rid of them, and let me change this to profile page as far as the title is concerned. And also let me link things up over here, and this is actually going to be in the nav area. So within the nav bar where we have admin profile, this is where we have the profile page. So I'm going to put out the profile.html over here. I'm going to duplicate, or I'm going to repeat that for all of them. So inside the admin profile, I'm going to do profile.html. I'm going to save this. I'll come to pro. This look kind of redundant, but then as far as building templates are concerned, this is how sometimes you have to go through the pain. So I'll do profile.html over here, and finally I'll come here and do profile.html. All right, so when I save this and refresh, this is going to be my dashboard. That's where I have everything set up, and this is going to be my staff page. This is going to be my profile page, my product page. This is going to be my orders page, and when I click on profile, I should have this over here, but then we have this for our profile, and we are getting a table over here, so I need to change some few things over here. Now, in order to get our way around this, inside the profile.html, I don't need the table. Yeah, I don't need the table, but I need the setup I have over there. So I'm just going to clear this, and I think with the final product, what I have over here is a card and some few things happening over here. So inside here, I'm going to have, let me see, okay, so customer detail page or the profile page. Let me do it that way. So I can have I'm going to have a card. So I'm going to say card header. I mean, we've seen this before, so I'll do a card header, and the card header is going to be what I have as profile page, and I'll do a bg of info over here, and I'll do txt bytes. Then I'll have a card body over here. So within the card body, this is where I'm going to have every bit of information over here. And let me see what I have. I have profile information. I think this is about an I think an h4 tag. So let me see. I have profile information, and before I go about this profile information and things of that sort, let me actually see what I'm working with. Okay, so I have this. It kind of looks cool, but we are going to run into some problems. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this card, okay, because I want some few things done over here. So I'm going to copy this. So inside the card body, I'm going to have a role over here. Then I'll do call MD8 because I want to divide what I have here into two. So call MD8. Then I'm going to have the H4, and I'm going to say profile page. Okay, so, or let's make it very descriptive. So I have staff profile page, and I'm going to have a horizontal rule over here. Then the rest of the things are going to appear as we have them over here. So okay, so this looks kind of cool. I mean, almost the same. Then we have this edit button over here. So as far as the edit button goes, that's going to be on this. Okay, so it's going to be a link tag, and I'm going to say edit. Then once again, I'll have a class of btn. Then I'll say info and btn sm. Okay, now when we leave it just like this, we're going to see that it's going to attach itself under here. So what we can do is, in order to make things work the way we want it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a span tag, okay, so that as we know, span tags are inline elements, so I'm just going to put this in a span tag, change the h4 into a span tag. Okay, so both of them are going to be inline next to each other, as we see over here. Good. But then I also want to change the font. So what I can do over here is I can actually apply a Bootstrap class of h4 over here, so that the staff profile page will look kind of big as it is, okay, as far as the original is concerned. Then okay, so I think let me change it to information. So staff profile information. Okay, so when I save this, yeah, that's what we have. But I want to shift this over here. Let me get rid of stuff. Okay, so in order to shift the button to where it belongs, I think we can also add another Bootstrap class, and I'll just say float, and we want to float it to the right. So when I save this, and this is what we have, you floated it to the right. Okay, and we have the name, the email, the phone, and the address. Okay, so that's what we are going to see over here. Then we also have the image displaying over here, and that's going to be taken care of, because as you can see, we have core MD8 over here. Now we can come beneath this and do a core, and I'll do MD4, so that you can have the image over there. Then I'm going to put out the image tag. The source is going to be, remember we have these images over here, so I'm going to do the current, sorry, I'm going to come in here, and as far as the source is concerned, I'm going to do the current image folder. Then I'm going to pick up the first image over here. So when I save this, this is actually going to look very big, okay, and I mean it's too big. So in order to shape things up over here, we are going to apply a Bootstrap class over here. So I'll do img dash thumbnail. So img dash thumb, okay, thumbnail is going to resize things up over here, and this is not where we wanted it to be displayed. I think we need to put this inside of this. Okay, so this is also not where we want it. I need to look out for my classes very well. So okay, so this core MD8. Okay, so yeah, so it needs to come here. All right, I think I was misled by the bigger core MD8 over here, and yeah, this is exactly where we want it. So we've resized things over here. Now the next thing is to put up the bits of information we had down here, and this table is probably, I mean, almost like the other tables that we know, but then this is going to look a little bit different. So we are going to go and just copy some of the tables that we've used over here. So inside this, we are going to have a table. Okay, now what I can do, I can come to the order page and grab a table over here. So I'm going to grab this table, Control C. Then I'm going to paste this table over here. But then this table is not going to be like the tables we've been working with. Okay, we don't want all these bits of information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit some few things over here. So this is the profile page. We are still here. I'm going to take care of this. So I'm going to clear the table head tag. In fact, I'm going to clear this whole thing up over here. And let me just fix the indentation over here. So I'm more of a visual person because I want to see almost everything I do on a table. So this is what we have. Now we are going to apply a Bootstrap class of I think it's going to be borderless. Let's try this and see. I think I made a mistake over here. So I'm going to say table borderless. So as far as table borderless goes, okay, so as you can see, we don't have any table or any border around what we have over here. Now it's interesting to know that this particular table that we have is kind of turned in some way. So what I'm going to do is we are actually going to have our table head and our table data in a particular row. Okay, so I'll just clear what I have over here and leave. Well, so for every table row, we are going to have a table head and a table data. That's all that we need. So when we come back, this is essentially what we have. But then as you may see, we don't want 1, 2, 3. Okay, we don't want this 1, 2, 3 for our rows. We actually want our name, email, phone, and address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say our name, our email, and our phone. That's going to be our phone number and our address. So I'm going to copy this table row, Control C, and put it down over here, and I'm going to change this to address. Okay, so for the name, I'm going to say Mac. The email, I'll say mac123@gmail.com. Then for the phone, I'm going to put out some random phone number over here, so 00992 whatever. Then for the address, I'll say house number 22 Dr. Abebio Street, Ghana. All right, so this is not my address anyway. So this is that, I mean, for the bit of information we have in that particular table. And if we should come back here, okay, this is what we have. It kind of looks like the original as we see over here. All right, so this is basically the interface. And if we come to our dashboard, we have this over here. When we come to our staff page, we have this. Come to our products, we have this cool interface, and our other table is also displaying over here. And finally, when we click on profile, we are going to have this profile page. So this is going to be our interface, and like I said, I'll add the source code in the description below. And this is not just for doing sake. We are actually going to use this to build a Django application, which of course I'm going to release the video in the coming days. But then depending on when we are watching this video, I'm going to put the link to that Django series I'm going to release in the description below, and you're going to see how things look like. So I will admit I might have gone too fast as far as building this interface is concerned, but like I said, I have some introduction to Bootstrap videos on my channel. You can look at them, and I think if you're a complete beginner, this is actually going to make sense as far as the application of some of the things we did over here. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any question, kindly leave it at the comment section. I'll try my best to answer every question that comes my way. At KenBroTech, we say learn programming, you can do it. And also don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.